Hi, good morning. This is again Krish Radhakrishnan from DEP. I have Steve, Kamiori, Yuan Sing Chen, and Z. Once again, thank you all for joining. Right, in spite of the bad weather, we have about 92 people on attendance. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Yuan Sing Chen. She is the program manager who developed this. Okay, Yuan Sing Chen, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Yuan Sing Chen. You can call me Ann. I'm from the application development of IT department. So we're already in the past year that we already have a couple of demonstrations for the ARTS eFile system, which is will be the paperless process implementation for ARTS system. So today we're going to have one final demonstration to show you how the ARTS eFile system will be, and very soon we're going to make it available to the public. Okay, so I'm going to give you some very quick highlight, and I'm going to go into the demonstration. Okay. So today we're going to go over the first part will be the highlights of changes. This will be really high-level highlights, and then the system demo. Okay. So the first highlight, the change, will be registration. So in just like what you have right now, so you will have a regular registration if you want to use the website. Okay. So, and we call that general registration. So what happens that whoever, like owners, representatives, licensed professionals, they all need to register with the website. Okay, and for account. Okay, and then we have the next level is for the licensed professionals. If you want to file or involve in the project of the licensed professionals, then you will need to go through pre-registration process. Okay, so the licensed professionals we're talking about here will include contractors, air monitors, project designers, and PERA. Okay. So all of these types of licensed professionals will need to go through pre-registration online, submit the application, okay, and also provide a statement of agreement, and also mail in the hard copy to us, to DEP, okay. So one thing I do want to point out is that some contractor company, it might be a big company. So it's actually allow multiple accounts to be registered with the same license number. So, for example, you have one license, the owner has one contract license. You may have, 2 or 3 or even more accounts being fine with this contract license. Okay.
Also, right, if you have multiple disciplines. Like a contractor can be also a project designer, right? So that means, right, you have multiple disciplines means you have more than one license. You can also have an account for each discipline, okay? But the bottom line, right, you need to have account for each discipline. If you want to be a contractor, you need a separate account. If you want to be a project designer, you want to be a separate account.
Okay. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
On the pre-registration, if you do want to file multiple licenses, you should do it. You should do it at the same time, or one time when you do the pre-registration. Otherwise, as I found out, and we currently can't add to people's accounts right now. That'll be in phase 2. If you're a contractor and you want to also register as a project designer, when you do the pre-registration, you'll do your paperwork for the contractor, and then you'll be able to add license and you can pick project designer. Because currently what happens if you need to do that now, because as I found out, if you just register as a contractor, then you come back and register as a project designer, or say air monitor with project designer or PERA, it'll be in separate accounts. You wind up you can't have the individual things open in the same browser. But if it's all registered at the same time, you'll open up, you'll open up your account, and there'll be, as you'll see later, there's buttons on there you can transfer from one discipline to the other.
Also, right, it may be a good idea to keep the same email address that currently you have. At some point when we go into the production, we may have to migrate the data we have in the old system. So it will be easy for you and us to migrate this data, without any major issues.
Okay. So, all right. So, and the next slide, we're showing some of other changes that we have in this version. So the first part will be the all project parties can view the project online, which means that's why we try to encourage all the project parties to register an account with the RT file system, that you can see everybody can view the project they're involved from their own ARTS account. Okay, so that we were gonna show in the demo very quick. Okay, the next thing is that, and also since we're talking about paperless, so we will not be receiving any more hard copies of the form submissions. Okay, so how you're doing the signature, we will replace with the acknowledgement. Okay, so what happens is that once the applicant fill out the ACP7 form, when they finalize, it will be available to all involved project parties, and they will be able to log in and view this project from their own account. So they will get a chance to review the 7 that the contractor prepares, and also acknowledge if they agree or they're okay with the 7. Okay, so that's how we replace the signature, the hard copy signature, with the online acknowledgement. Okay, the only chance that we will accept the hard copy will be for the pre-registration form submission. Okay, so the next item will be you will be able to upload all the required document online. So you don't need to come over to DEP anymore to submit all the hard copy of the documents. You can, when you submit the form, the system will ask you to upload all the required documents, and then you can submit with the form. Next thing is that the payment, and again, you don't need to come over to make payment here. We will have, we work with Department of Finance, so you'll be able to make payment online with a credit card or e-check. Okay, and also the emergency filing. The applicant will be responsible for submit the emergency filing request online and also from their own account. Okay, so you will be normal like you calling to the DP and somebody here record all the data for you. Instead of that, you're gonna log into your account and fill out the form. And we're gonna show you very quick in the demo.
Can I just say one thing, Ann? Here, as regards to emergency filing, we still have to figure out a system for after hours. So right now, if you have something, you're still going to have to call into 311 and ask for the on-call supervisor, because until we give them, they would actually have to have a computer at home to be able to use to log on to answer your account. We're not there yet. So during the day, the emergency filing eFile will work, but after hours, you should still contact 311 for right now.
Okay, so you should be able to see the system right now. Okay, so this is the new ARTS eFile system. Okay, so like what you have, you need to register an account so that, and you will also receive the email for your registration, and you have to activate your account. Okay, so once you activate the account, you're gonna see this your account like this. Okay, so by default you will see Applicant Tab on the top. Okay, once you start involving in other projects, such as contractors or owner or air monitor, you're gonna see other tabs. Okay, even like PERA or project designer. Okay, so in the home page you have ACP7 where you're gonna see all the filings that by you. Okay. And you can filter by different status, okay? And also you can do a search, okay? And also down here is we're showing all the emergency filing requests if you have any, Okay, and you can also submit from here. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is the pre-registration. So I already registered this account as a regular user. Okay, and it's actually a contractor. So I tried to submit a pre-registration application. So you're gonna go into your user profile from the top. Okay, and here you're gonna see all the user profile that you fill out when you did the registration. Okay, and here you're gonna see pre-registration request, where you can register your license and certificate. Okay, so here, as you can see, we already list all the license types that we require you to for the pre-registration. So here you can see air monitor, contractor, PRA, and project designer. Okay, so I'm gonna register a contractor license. Okay, and then here we have a DOL license number that we actually receive the data from the state Department of License every day. So so I will be able to, when I enter my license number, I will be able to verify my license. And then you will pull out all the information that Department of License has. Okay. All right. So all the information was retrieved. So I have my company, ABC Corporation. Okay. I have my license version day, and even the owner, the owner, which is the employer of my company, is also retrieved here. Okay. And what I need to do is I need to specify if I'm the owner of this company or the employee. So I will say I'm the employee of this company. So which, you know, back to what I mentioned earlier, that for one license, you know, for a big company, contract company, or another company, you may have multiple RT file account registered and file with the license. Okay. Okay. So when I save it here, the system starts showing the required document, even required forms that I need to provide for my pre-registration. So here it shows the required forms, which is the statement of agreement. So you will be required to open this form. Okay, you have to read through all the statement of agreement, and you have to print out and sign and do the notarize. Okay, so you have 2 pages. So both pages need to be signed and notarized. Okay, so the second part will retrieve the information that you filled out earlier. Okay, and you also need to print out both pages. Okay, so once you print out, sign and notarize, you have to scan back. Okay, and submit with the form. So, and also, so here where you upload the statement of agreement. Before I do, I'll show you. So here, actually, system already show you all the required documents that you need for the pre-registration, and it's going to be the same thing across the whole form submission through the whole system. Okay, so now I'm going to upload the statement of agreement. Just assume that I already signed. Okay, and also upload. Okay. Okay, once I finish one form, I still cannot see submit button because I still need to upload another required document. Because I mentioned I'm the employee of this company, so an employment letter from my boss will be also required in this case. Okay. Okay, so when I upload, so I actually upload everything that I needed, okay, here, and I start seeing the submit button, meaning I'm ready to submit. Just a note to Steve, what Steve mentioned earlier, you can also add another license or certificate type here in this pre-registration. So for now, we encourage you to register all the license or certificate that you have right now for your account, you know, because, you know, we only accept right now, okay? So you feel free to add new license. So for example, if you add new license, since I already specify I want to register for contractor, so I only need another certificate type I can register, which is project designer. Okay, so with the system, we already make sure that there are certain license type combination that you can register for. Okay, so for now, I will just, you know, submit pre-registration for contract license, and I'll submit. Okay, so once you submit it, it will show the form status submitted, Okay, and keep in mind that DEP will not start the review until we receive your hard copy of your document. Okay, so which means you need to mail in the statement of agreement and also the authenticate form with the signature, the hard copy, with the signature at notary. Okay, so we will not start the review until we receive your hard copy. Okay. Okay, so I have my colleague here. She will quickly do a review. So, and then we'll very quick to see some review here. Okay, so just a quick note that before the pre-registration is approved, you still cannot file as a contractor until this is approved. Okay, and also we will be sending you a notification email once the pre-registration is approved. Okay. So and so as a quick note, so if you go to the 7, okay, like applicant information. So I'm just trying to show you that that for now you cannot file as a contractor, okay. But building owner, you're able to file as a building owner if you have a regular account, okay. All right. Okay, so my colleague already doing a review. So if I go back to my user profile, so I will show you the objection, which is also a new thing that in the system. Okay, so in the objection, this will be also the same pattern through all the forms. Okay, in the system. So if you have any objections in your form, you will be seeing this objection button showing in the list. Okay, when clicking, okay, you'll be able to see the objection that issued for this form. Okay, so so the reviewer just issued an objection because we have an incorrect invalid document. Okay, so the corrective action is to ask me to replace the submit document. Okay, when I click this to view the objection details, I will be able to see the more details that the reviewer enters about this objection. Okay. And also here we will be able to see the first will be the original document that whatever I submit. And also in the second button, I'll be able to see the document that is being objected so that you can distinguish different versions of the document. Okay. And so what I will do is that I will just upload a new document, okay, which is a statement of agreement. Okay. I'll just pretend that, okay, I upload the right document right now, okay? So when I click responded, it's actually we're sending an email to the reviewer, okay, and notifying them I already respond my application, okay? Okay, so now, and again, you have to build in your hard copy to DP for the correct document, okay? All right, so what happened at the same time, my colleague already approved my, well, is trying to approve the pre-registration, okay? So now it's, as soon as it's approved, I'll be able to file as a contractor, okay? Okay, so if I go back to try to create ACP7, right? So I go to Applicant Information. Now I start seeing the contractor, that I can use as a applicant's affiliation. Okay, so that's how you work through the pre-registration. So in the beginning of all the system when it's available, all the licensed professionals need to go through this pre-registration. Okay. Okay. So next thing is that I'm going to talk about briefly about the ACP7 submission. Okay, so some of you might see that before, but I want to do a quick review here. So I already have an existing contractor account, which I previously already filed with the contractor license. Okay, so as you can see here on the top, you can see Applicant Tab, and in addition to that, to my another account, I already start showing a special Contractor tab. So that means that I'm involved in a project or multiple projects as a contractor role. Okay, so if you also pre-register as a other license certificate type, for example, if a PERA or project designer, you will also start seeing other tabs as soon as you're involved in other projects. Okay. So the first part I will go through quickly is the 7. Okay. So the 7 is actually pretty similar to what you have right now. Okay. So the form is you still need to fill out the facility information, all this information that you see on the left. Okay, so a big difference here is the applicant information. So in here, usually in the current system, if you select the contractor, you probably need to fill out all this different information. But since I already pre-registered as a contractor in this account, so the system will simply just retrieve all the information for me. Okay, and also the contact person may vary by different projects. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So it saves you a lot of time. Okay, and also every time when you try to file, the system will verify your license, to make sure it's valid. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to submit the forms. Okay. Okay, and also a quick note on the owner. So what I mentioned earlier is that we actually encourage owner to also register account with the RC file, so that owner can also view what's going on with this project from their own account. However, it's not required. So in this case, I'm going to put the owner not having an RC account. Okay, so just like right now, you still need to fill out all the owner's information. Okay. And the contractor section. So same thing, because I already mentioned I'm the contractor in this project. So the system just simply retrieve everything for me again. Okay, so by the way, if you need to change any information like address, you can always go back to the user profile on the top to update your information. Okay. Other than that, the license information we will be updating on our site. Okay. So, and error monitor will be the same thing. So if I'm the contractor on this project, so I also need to make sure my error monitor is registered with account. So in this case, I already know that this error monitor has an account. Okay. So I need to enter their not license number. Okay, I need to enter the email address that they use to register with the ARTS account. Okay, so that the system will be able to retrieve their information. Okay. Okay. So please make sure when you fill out the form, please make sure the error monitor that who is working with you, they also register the account. Okay. So any other sections are actually they're very similar. Okay. One quick highlight is in the project information where you specify the project date. So if you specify your start date within 7 days, then the system will require you right away to submit a 7-day waiver ACP9. Okay, and you are required to submit at the same time as you submit the 7. Okay, and also the document. So the document already actually showed earlier. So for each of the form, if the owner does not have account, the applicant is also required to submit owner's authorization letter. Okay, so just like what you have earlier, so you will need to download the form, okay, and also have the owner sign and upload back to the system and submit with your form. Okay. So once I finish this form, okay, Okay, so once I finish this form, I can preview the 7 PDF that I already filled with all the information that I fill out. Okay, so all this information is very similar to what we have right now. Okay, it's just one last page. Instead of the signature, we replace with the date that each project party acknowledge. Okay, which I will show you right now. Okay, so you'll be able to see this form. So I'm going to finalize. So the difference between before you finalize and after you finalize is that before you finalize, this is a draft, 7 draft that only you can see that. The applicant can see that, okay? And once I click finalize, okay, and I have to read through the wording, make sure I agree, okay? So this will be become available to all other project parties, okay? So I will log into Air Monitor's account, okay, which I specified earlier. Okay, so when I go into Air Monitor's account, I mean me as Air Monitor right now, for example, I need to go to Air Monitor tab, okay. As soon as it's finalized, I can start seeing this 2084 Broadway, which is the application I was working on earlier. Okay, so I will be able to view this ACP7, and then also what I need to do is I need to acknowledge this form. Okay, so I will get a chance to read through the ACP7 that the contractor fill out. Okay, and if I'm okay with that, I'll just continue and also do the acknowledgement. Okay, and this is a recording as you know, the day you acknowledge, and it's just working as a signature. Okay, so as soon as you finish, and here it also shows if all the project parties acknowledge. So now I still need to finish the contractor acknowledgement. Okay. Okay. So since the applicant is also the contractor in this project, so the applicant will need to go to the contractor tab. Okay, and same thing. So he will be able to see 2084 Broadway. Okay, I also need to do acknowledgement here. Okay, so I'll continue. Okay, and acknowledge. Okay, so as soon as all the acknowledgement by all the project parties are completed, so I will be able to start to see the payment, the dollar sign. That means the form is ready to be pay and submitted. Okay. So I also want to show you in Air Monitor's account. Okay. They will also be able to see this dollar sign. So what happens is that all the involved project parties will be able to make payment. Okay, for all the forms in this case. Okay, so I'm going to make a payment. So first you will see how much you need to pay, and you will get a chance to select the form that you need to pay. Okay, and then I'll click submit. So when I click submit, it's actually going to the Department of Finance City Pay website. Okay, so first you need to read through the terms and conditions. Okay. And the next thing is that you'll be able to see the 7 with the form ID, that sequential ID that we generate in the system, and also the address you're going to make payment for. Okay. So, and 2 options that what I mentioned earlier, you'll be able to make payment with e-check, which is just like the regular check, but you have to fill out the routing number, account number, or you can pay by credit card, which it will charge you 2.49 service fee. Okay. So. Okay, so I'm going to pay with a credit card. Okay. So just like any other online payment that you may have here, that for your daily life, so you need to fill out all your billing information. So once I fill out information, I'll get a chance to the review again, okay, and I click process payment. Okay. Once you finish a payment, you will come back to our site again. So once you submit the 7 forms, the true number, TRU number will be generated. Okay, you'll have this number. Okay, you'll be able to print this page as your proof of the submission. Okay, as the other proof that you should receive an email that from the Department of Finance showing you that you already submit this form. Okay. And you'll be able to see the sequential ID and address on the form for the payment that you just made.
It's a proof of payment, right?
So it's a proof of payment. Okay. So you have so combining with the printout from this form is a proof of submission of your form, and also proof of payment. That's the email that you receive from DOF. Okay. So that's a ACP7 submission. Okay. Yes.
This is Krish again. I just want to summarize this, right? So right now we have a 7. You go to different parties. There are 4 parties involved in the applications: applicant, contractor, air monitor, and the owner, right? In lieu of getting signatures, once you identify the form, say assuming the applicant identifies all the other people's email, once the form is complete and you finalize, everybody gets an email, everybody gets to see the application, they review, and then in lieu of signature, they acknowledge that reviewed, everything's fine. So once the acknowledgement is done, then you'll see a $sign. At that time, any party involved in the project can pay. It's not necessarily a owner or applicant. So we have created the system so that, right, anybody involved in the project can make the payment. There's a $sign. You click the $sign, and then pay the fees via e-check or a credit card. Then the form is complete.
Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is that after you submit the 7 form, so DP reviewers will start doing the review. Okay. So what happens is that I'll also want to show you another kind of objection that you may have a you may be objected from, for different reasons. Probably the reviewer will ask you to correct the form data, right? If you have incorrect data in your 7, you could be required to submit some forms. For example, you could submit the variance, or you could be required to submit a true if the trigger is missing. So in this case, I will show you the case that the reviewer wants you to submit a true permit. Okay, so So back to the home page. So quickly, you can see this project. That's the project I'm being issued the objection for. So here you'll be able to see ACP7 status as objected. Okay, and if you have any A2 review, you will also be seeing the status, review status here later. Okay, so here when I go into objection, I see I've been issuing objections into file A2 permit. Okay, so when you view the details of these objections, it says that I need 28 trigger. Okay, for my seller. Okay, so I'll be seeing the question here. It says okay, 28 trigger. So and also when I click this, I will be able to see affected location. Okay, that reviewer specify. Okay, so what I need to respond to this objection is that first I need to upload a workplace safety plan as required for all the A2 projects. Okay. Okay. And by the way, so if you have different opinions from the objection that the reviewer issued, you can always respond with explanation. Okay, that you can actually type in some explanation or your opinion in the explanation and respond. Okay, the reviewer will be able to see your response, and if they're okay with that, they can satisfy this objection. Okay, but for now, I'm going to respond the regular way with uploading the workplace safety plan. Okay. Once I upload, I'm able to submit the form. Okay, so here it says, okay, I will need to make payment for A-True $100. Okay, so I'll just submit. And again, the system will take me to submit this A-True. Okay, so one quick note is that the missing trigger will not be, the missing trigger form will no longer be needed to submit to DEP. As soon as we receive your response, okay, we'll be able to see the triggers coming in, and this will be an A-True project, okay? And also, you will also be able to see the 7 whenever from here to view 7, okay? So the next thing I would like to show you is variance, okay? So just like right now, variance, you could submit, with your 7 or after 7 is approved, okay, or accepted. So for the 7, I'm sorry, for the variance, so what happens is that the project designer, usually it's defined by project designer, but project designer at this point, they're not part of this project, okay? So to be able to involve the project designer in the project, the applicant will need to initiate the variance, okay? So what happens, the applicant or a contractor goes to the variance, okay, and will click initiate variance, okay? So the only thing the applicant needs to do just to make sure to specify who is the project designer, okay? Okay, so I already have, again, so the project designer is required to complete a pre-registration to be able to involve the project designer. So I already have this project designer pre-register completed, okay, so I'll be able to send to his account, okay. Okay, so now I will go to the project designer's account. Okay, so just like any other account, so when project designer comes to this to his account, he'll go to the project designer, and he should also receive an email notifying him to prepare the ACP-9 form. Okay, so the first thing is that he will need to locate the project, so he needs to go to the submitted. I think this is what I have, 2084. So I already see the ACP-9 draft. Okay, I can just click edit. Okay, so just like the variance right now, that the project designer will need to specify if this for a regular ACP-9 or is for 122B. Okay, so let's say if it's this is an ACP-9 case. Okay. And also the project designer information will be preloaded because when the applicant initializes the variance, it's already being filled out, okay? And the variance details are what you have right now. You will need to specify the rule provisions, okay, for the location that needs variance, okay? For documents, so again, in this case, owner does not have an account. So they will also need to download the owner authorization letter, have the owner sign, and also upload something with the form. Okay, so in this case we have proposed method of work, layout drawing, and also owner's authorization letter as a required document for ACP-9 submission. Okay, so one more thing is the attachment. So what you have right now is that you will need to know which attachment that applies to your variance. Okay, so what the new system has is that you don't need to submit those documents, okay, but you will be able to see the list of attachments that are available for the variance, okay, and you will be able to see all 14 attachments that we have right now. And for each of them, you'll be able to open the document and view what it looks like, what's about. And you will need to specify the attachment that you need applies to this variance, okay, and if you choose the wrong one after you submit, the reviewer will be able to see the various attachment that you choose, and they could also issue you an objection to correct the attachment. Okay, so and other than that, everything will be the same as what you have right now for variance, and you will be also to preview the ACP9 form, okay? And you'll be able to see all the information that you filled out earlier, okay? And also the again, the signature day is replaced with the day you will acknowledge this form. Okay, and the next thing is I will go back to the applicant's account. The next form I would like to go over is the ACP8, okay? So ACP8, just like right now, you can file amendment if you need to postpone the project date or before the project starts, and or you need to change the material or the material amount, okay? So, and of course you cannot see the amendment until the 7 is the review is complete and then accepted, okay? So amendment, so you can see this is a new amendment page, okay? So everything will be the same, okay? The only difference is that for amendment, so when you create amendment, you'll get a chance to select whichever sections that you need to submit this amendment for, okay? So for example, if I would like to change the location, the material, okay, I'll be able to get a chance to see, okay, what kind of change I need to do, okay? I could add, delete ACM or change ACM amount, okay? So you can actually add multiple sections if you need, okay? Once you finish, you need to continue to the form, okay? So just like the ACPA that you may have right now, the only difference is that you do not see a whole bunch of other sections like right now, okay? You will only see the section open up to you based on the section that you select earlier, okay? And the rest of it will be the same as how you're doing the amendments right now, okay? Okay, so the next thing is emergency filing request. I would like to quickly show you, okay? So in the emergency filing request, so I mentioned earlier the applicant will be responsible to submit the emergency filing request, okay? So what happens is that they will need to go to their website, go to their account, and create and submit the emergency filing request form, okay? So the form will be really, really similar to the 7, okay? Except that we have a nature of emergency, scope of work sections, and you do not see, you're not required to enter the lab information in the air monitor section, and you cannot specify any triggers for the emergency case, okay? You do not need to fill out the holder information, okay? So anything else will be really similar to the 7 that we have, okay? So for scope of work, what happens is that you can also put in the scope of work that applies to your emergency, okay? And if you you will get the option that if you either specify scope of work in the text, or you may upload the document, okay? So after you submit the emergency, just like how you submit the 7, the only thing is that once you submit the emergency, you do not need acknowledgement from all the project parties, okay? We will require you to do that when you file the 7, okay? So once you submit the emergency, will come into DP. We'll have reviewers review the emergency filing request, okay? So once it's approved, I mean the review is completed, okay? You'll be able to see it's approved here. Just like right now, you'll be issued the emergency number, okay? And as soon as it's approved, the 7 will also be, the draft of the 7 will also be available in the 7 list, okay? That the system will try to have you to know that you need to file the 7 within 48 hours. Okay, so I'll pick one example. If I have an emergency here, I have emergency. So for the emergency, I will not be able to change my form in the draft. Oh, sorry. Okay, so these are the draft, the 7 draft that is coming from the approved emergency. Okay, if I go into the draft, okay, you will find out you will not be able to allow to make changes to those sections that you already fill out in the emergency filing request. Okay, but you will be required to fill out the missing information that you didn't fill out in the emergency request, and also upload the document required for the 7. Okay, and you do not need to enter the emergency number anymore because the system already have it. Okay. Okay, last but not least, so for the closeout. So again, so just like right now, applicant will need to create a closeout package to initiate the closeout process. Okay, so let's say if I have this case 2082 Broadway. Okay, if I try to close out this project. Okay, so just like right now, you need to create a closeout package. The applicant needs to create a closeout package. Okay, so I'll try to close one of the projects. Okay. So I will specify the location. You'll get a chance to specify the DOB job number if you know. Okay. And you will find out that for the error monitor information, you do not need to enter anymore because the system will take whoever the error monitor from the 7 and retrieve the form. Okay. So you will not need to do this. Okay. All right. So since the location I try to close out also had the H2 review, okay? So that's why PRA also needs to submit an ATR1 form for this location when I close out, okay? So same thing like project designer I mentioned earlier. So PRA is not in the project right at this point. So when you do the closeout, you will be able to specify who's your PRA in this case, okay? And they will be able to access the project at this point, okay? So again, they need to go through pre-registration and complete it, okay? Okay, so when I finalize, I'll be able to see both closeout package, both the ACP15 closeout package and ATR1 package are already finalized. Okay, so they will be available for closeout in Air Monitor and PRA's account. Okay, and other than that, that's the same thing that what you do right now. Okay. So if I quickly go to the Air Monitor's account, okay, so I locate the project under Submitted, okay, I'll be able to see this 2082 Broadway. If I go to Closeout, I'll be able to see this package in my account, okay, and I can go in there to start creating ACP15 form, okay. So as a quick highlight, because so again, Air Monitor will be responsible to submit the 15, okay? However, Air Monitor still needs to specify who is the project monitor in this case. Okay, so because project monitor is not required to do pre-registration, so you still need to specify who is the project monitor by specifying their certificate, and the system will also verify, okay? Okay, so when I provide project monitor's information, so in the document, the project monitor's authorization letter will be required when you submit the 15 form, because project monitor does not have account. They cannot review the 15 from their account. So authorization letter is required for it. Okay, so just like owner. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this new highlight. Okay. So let me go back. So if you have any questions about the new system, okay, you can send an email to artfeedback at dep.nyc.gov. Okay, so many questions about what's the new process for the filings, how do you do the form, okay. So hopefully we can try to get back to your reply to your question as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple of things to add. I'm sure everybody wants to know the turnaround time on an ACP7. We have to pick out a time in the afternoon. Let's say, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. No, 2, 3 o'clock, baby. Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out. But if you submit a 7 before 2 or 3 o'clock today, it'll be reviewed today.
Same day.
Yeah. If there's an objection, it's a different story. But anything submitted after that in the evening, overnight, it'll be reviewed the following morning, right? Because you'll have access to the system 365, 24/7. We're working the day shift, Monday through Friday.
Right.
So if you submit an ACP7 on Friday after 3 o'clock, it's going to be looked at Monday morning. Also, too, in regards to the 7-day waiver, that can be submitted by the applicant. It doesn't have to be submitted by the project designer. And also on a regular ACP9, when a project designer submits that, 125C, the 7-day waiver, is not going to be part of that variance. So if you have a variance and it is an emergency maybe for the owner, you may have to have him submit a letter, but the project designer won't be able to check 125C. But it doesn't make real sense to us to ask for a 7-day waiver, seek relief from a bunch of sections that we have to do, variance review on and go back and forth with the project designer. So that's the way it's established right now. Also on the emergency filing, if you fill in the nature of the emergency and the scope of work in the boxes that are provided, on the left-hand side, and the reviewer has an objection to that, say he wants, the site supervisor information wasn't included and with a cell phone number, and the reviewer sends you an objection, right now you can't modify that. So the workaround is going to be that you're just going to have to put it on your letterhead and upload a document with the the emergency and or the scope of work where the information was missing, and just upload a document with the additional information. And that's about all I have too.
So basically, right, we're planning to do a soft launch, right, with a few contractors and few air monitors in a week or so. So then in a week or two, we will know exactly how it goes. So if there are no major problems, we should be able to go into production shortly, right,
For everybody, yeah.
For everybody. And then we are also trying to see, because of the weather and some of the people could not get in, we're also trying to see if we can do one more webinar. All right, we will let you guys know.
Yeah, but we have recorded this, so we'll post it, right, and we'll give you where it is.